All right, as promised, this is sort of part two of that last video, talking about my quarantine build, my 2020 fun project gun, and specifically what I want to talk about is going to be this optic right here. So this is a 6 Sauer MSR red dot. Um, I had a few people who had kind of messaged me and posted in a local group asking, what do people think about this? Has anybody used one? Some of the Sig optics are really good. Some of them are good but not great. So this particular one was hitting a price point that a lot of people really liked. It was at the time it was less expensive than something like, say, even a Hollow Sun or one of these primary arms like I have. Well below, of course, aim point or Trijicon options, whatever you want to choose there. So I picked one up, about $100, I think, just to kind of get some hands on, get some range time with it. Let you guys know what I think. The first thing that I want to talk about and mention is it comes with this mount. It comes with this mount in the box there. It's a little kind of skeletonized absolute co-witness, so it sits right in line with my rear sight and the front sight post. It can use any standard, aim point style mount. So I have an ADM mount on one gun. I have a Fortis mount. It'll fit any of those. So if you want to use a mount that you've already got and you decide that this is the optic you want, it will work with those mounts. Cool. It was fairly inexpensive. Like I said, it's going to fit a lot of people's budget. Budget isn't always going to be the number one priority for a lot of people, and it shouldn't. It doesn't necessarily need to be. But if you need an optic, you got $100. You want to put it on a gun that you don't necessarily count on for going to war or whatever. This is something that you could look at. So it's been fairly robust. I mean, I haven't tossed it down range like I have with some of my other guns. You guys probably see me throwing those Zeotechs down range and my aim point, whatever. They survive it. This one's okay. I have had some concerns about the mount, particularly. It is fairly thin. I'm not sure if you can see how thin that is right across here. So I haven't done any, just straight dropping tests like I have with other optics. But for what it's worth, it's been knocked around in the back of the truck and it's fallen over in the garage and that kind of stuff. It seems to be okay. It doesn't have any, big scratches, no dents. The turrets all still work. The adjustments are there and working fine. It's held zero okay. Haven't had any really big problems with that. Again, I haven't shot it a whole lot. I think this particular setup right now, I've probably only got 300 or 400 rounds through it. I'm going to shoot a couple more right now. But again, with the zero, it's been okay. I haven't noticed any huge deviations through strings of fire or anything like that. The adjustments are uncapped turrets. So you got your turret there on the side. This is your illumination for the dot. It's a 1 to 11, 10 settings. 10 settings. There is no night vision setting. So if you have night vision, that's something that you want to consider. However, if you're running night vision, you're probably not budgeting only $100 for an optic. So take that for what it's worth. So those are sort of the good things. The bad things and I shouldn't even say that they're bad things. They're just sort of the low points of this. First of all is going to be the fact that this is a really narrow tube. It's a lot smaller. The objective there, fairly small. Even when you compare it to, the primary arms, which is quite a bit larger field of view. This primary arms is a lot closer to like my aim point. I've got the Comp M4S on my SBR at home. So that's definitely something to consider. It is just a smaller field of view, so your your alignment and where you're placing it on the gun, where you want to have it, is going to be a much bigger factor. I haven't had any serious problems with the brightness. It's fairly bright when the battery's nice and fresh. Out here, you know, it's awfully bright, and I'm typically going to run it at about a number 7 setting, I think, and that gets me a pretty good visual on it. But what I will say about that is, if you're going to keep it at the 7, 8, 9, or 10, you know, one of the higher brightness settings, is this thing absolutely eats through batteries like crazy. I'm having to replace this battery. Yeah, I'm a firm believer in just leaving your optics on all the time, because you never know when you might need it, and so you don't want to have to worry about switching on, you know, getting it turned on or anything like that. So leaving this on, I am having to replace the battery probably once a month. And part of the testing that I did was put a fresh battery in it, turn it on, and just let it sit. And I made a notation of when I got it, when I put the battery in it, and I think it's about once a month that it's going through batteries. It does not use a standard 2032 battery, which would be nice because I have tons of those. I have them everywhere. This is a that's 1632 battery. Does that sound right? Whatever. But so unfortunately, I'm having to buy batteries specifically just for this one, and batteries that I can't use in anything else. So that's kind of a drawback. Again, as I've said in the previous video, this is not a really super serious use gun. I'm not relying on this. This is not my first, second, even probably third choice for a gun that I would grab and, you know, run to the end of the driveway with. So that issue with the battery, maybe not such a big deal. If this is going to be something that you buy, shoot it a couple times a month, or, you know, 5-6 times a year, and you're aware of needing to turn the brightness down or off, then it might work just fine for you. But the accuracy, like I said, fairly okay. Shoot a couple rounds here. I got a steel target downrange, about 25 yards. And again, this is on the number 7 brightness, and I can see it just fine. And as a matter of fact, let me tell you that right there on that last round, it went out. So that's really interesting. And it's gone. I'll tell you, I replaced the battery about 2 weeks ago. Because I wanted to have a fresh one so I could come out here and do this. And I don't know if that's an issue with the battery or what. And it's not, let's see. Yeah, it's not coming back on. It's on, I got all my settings there. Yeah, okay, so it's not on. Let me backtrack one little bit. And this is something that I mentioned a few minutes ago about the night vision. This actually does have 2 settings, N1 and N2 for night vision. But again, if you're invested in shooting with night vision, you've got a night vision setup, you're probably not super concerned with saving this kind of money, you know, to buy a $100 optic, especially one that got 4 rounds into that string and just stopped working. So I probably can't see through there well, but the dot's gone. It's on all my different settings there. Let's see. Nope, can't see it. So Sig MSR. I don't know. This little video took a bit of a turn there at the end. I wasn't strongly going to recommend this optic for anybody, really, but I was willing to say that on a you know, just kind of a fun gun, something you're going to take out to the range fairly infrequently, a couple times a year, whatever, maybe it's an okay choice. Having it die on me right there makes me rethink that. And now, of course, the prices on that, I think it's about 150 bucks. And for the same price, you can get one of these primary arms red dots, and I think that that's a much, much better way to go. So, Sig MSR, skip it. If you've already got one, whatever, do your thing. If you're in the market for something like that, save up a couple more bucks and go primary arms. Hollow Sun's going to be a little bit more than that even, but you're going to get much better results, much better craftsmanship, and much better longevity in life out of it. So that's it for that. See ya. Thanks for watching.